108th Nebraska legislative session was one of the immense controversy, and the Speaker of the body spent much of that time under fire from Democrats and Republicans alike. Now that some of the dust has settled on the session, our own Tristan Winder had the opportunity to sit down with Speaker Arch to discuss the session in greater length.
From controversial bills to lengthy filibustering, there's no denying that the first session of the 108th Nebraska legislative session had its fair share of difficulties and challenges. Yet 291 bills were passed during the session. In comparison, 322 bills were passed in 2019 and 281 in 2021, and 72 out of the 107 priority bills were passed, according to the Speaker of the Nebraska Legislature, La Vista Senator John Arch.
And only 7 bills passed with less than 40 votes. So it wasn't all divided. There were some very large bills that became divisive, but it wasn't all divided. And so I think that that's a misperception. I think we had a lot of good government bills that passed that were supported by a large majority of the members. And like I say, we addressed the issues that were in front of us.
Speaker Arch is a veteran member of the Nebraska Legislature. However, this past session was his first as Speaker of the body.
The focus over the session as the leadership, as Speaker, was to protect the institution. I believe what we saw last year was an aberration. And I don't think anybody wants to repeat what happened last year. And so I didn't want to, in some reactive way, make those changes that affect the institution, change precedent, reinterpret rules, all of that. I didn't want to do that in the heat of the moment. So if we want to talk about rules, we can talk about rules, but it's not going to be in the midst of that conflict.
Many anticipate changes to the rules in the Nebraska Legislature before the body reconvenes early next year. Reporting for NBC Nebraska News 2, I'm Tristan Winder.
And tonight's story with Speaker Arch begins in an in-depth series recapping the 108th First Nebraska legislative session. We'll have more as the week progresses. And turning